Our planet, Earth, is an extraordinary place. It is a delicate balance of interconnected systems. For millennia, life has thrived on this planet. However, we are witnessing a worrying trend. Our climate is changing. This change is happening at an unprecedented rate. It is time to understand why and what we can do about it. We see the evidence all around us. Glaciers are shrinking, and sea levels are rising. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and intense. These changes pose a significant threat to all life on Earth. It is a global issue that requires a global response. The Earth's climate has always fluctuated naturally, but the current warming trend is extremely unusual. It is largely driven by human activities. We are altering the delicate balance of our planet, and the consequences are severe. The time to act is now. To understand climate change, we need to understand the greenhouse effect. Imagine our atmosphere as a giant blanket around Earth. This blanket is made up of gases including carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. These are known as greenhouse gases. The sun's rays reach Earth, providing warmth and light. Some of this heat is reflected back into space. However, greenhouse gases trap some of this outgoing heat. This trapped heat warms the planet, making life possible. This natural process is essential for life as we know it. Without it, Earth would be too cold to support life. However, human activities are increasing the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This is amplifying the greenhouse effect, leading to a warming planet. The Industrial Revolution marked a turning point in human history. It brought about incredible advancements in technology and industry. However, it also marked a significant increase in our use of fossil fuels. These fuels, such as coal, oil, and natural gas, release large amounts of carbon dioxide when burned. Deforestation is another major contributor to climate change. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When forests are cut down or burned, this stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere. Agriculture also plays a role in greenhouse gas emissions. Livestock farming, for example, produces methane, a potent greenhouse gas. The production of fertilizers and the transportation of food also contribute to emissions. Our reliance on fossil fuels, deforestation, and intensive agriculture are all contributing to the increase in greenhouse gases. These gases are trapping more heat, leading to a warming planet and disrupting the delicate balance of our climate system. The evidence of a warming world is all around us. Scientists have been meticulously collecting data for decades. The data clearly shows a significant warming trend. The average global temperature has risen by about 1 degree Celsius, or 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit, since the late 19th century. This may seem like a small amount, but it has significant consequences. The past few decades have been the warmest in over 1,000 years. This warming trend is projected to continue, with potentially catastrophic consequences. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the leading international body for the assessment of climate change, predicts that global temperatures could rise by as much as 4 degrees Celsius or 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the century. The warming trend is not uniform across the globe. Some regions are experiencing more rapid warming than others. The Arctic, for example, is warming at twice the rate of the global average. This warming is having profound impacts on the region's ice, ecosystems, and people. Section 5. Melting ice and rising seas. One of the most visible and concerning impacts of climate change is the melting of glaciers and ice sheets. As global temperatures rise, ice melts at an accelerated rate. This melting ice contributes to rising sea levels, threatening coastal communities and ecosystems worldwide. The Greenland and Antarctic ice sheets hold vast amounts of frozen water. If these ice sheets were to melt completely, global sea levels could rise by several meters. This would inundate coastal cities, displace millions of people, and devastate coastal ecosystems. Rising sea levels also increase the risk of flooding and erosion. Coastal communities are becoming increasingly vulnerable to storm surges, high tides, and coastal erosion. Sea level rise is a slow but relentless threat. It is a clear indicator of the profound changes happening to our planet due to climate change. It is a stark reminder of the urgency to address this global challenge. Section 6. Extreme weather. Climate change is not just about a gradual increase in temperature. It is also leading to more frequent and intense extreme weather events. We are witnessing a surge in heat waves, droughts, floods, and wildfires. These events have devastating consequences for human lives, infrastructure, and ecosystems. Heat waves are becoming more common and severe, posing serious health risks, particularly for the elderly and vulnerable populations. Droughts are becoming more prolonged and widespread, leading to water shortages, crop failures, and economic hardship. Heavy rainfall events are increasing in frequency and intensity, leading to more frequent and severe flooding. This flooding can cause widespread damage, displace communities, and contaminate water supplies. Wildfires are becoming more frequent and intense, fueled by drier conditions and hotter temperatures. Section 7. Nature in Peril. The impacts of climate change are not limited to humans. They are profoundly affecting the natural world, disrupting ecosystems and threatening biodiversity. From coral reefs to rainforests, life on Earth is struggling to adapt to the rapid pace of change. Ocean acidification, caused by the absorption of excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, is altering the chemistry of seawater and harming marine life. Coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, are particularly vulnerable to warming waters and ocean acidification. Climate change is disrupting the delicate balance of ecosystems, leading to shifts in species distribution, changes in migration patterns, and increased competition for resources. Many species are struggling to adapt to these rapid changes, putting them at risk of extinction. We are facing a global biodiversity crisis, with climate change acting as a significant driver. The loss of biodiversity not only diminishes the beauty and wonder of our planet, but also weakens the resilience of ecosystems, making them more vulnerable to further change. Section 8. Our shared responsibility. The scientific evidence is clear. Climate change is real, it is happening now, and it is primarily caused by human activities. The consequences of inaction are too dire to ignore. We have a shared responsibility to act now and protect our planet for present and future generations. The good news is that we have the knowledge, the tools, and the resources to address this challenge. We can transition to cleaner and more sustainable energy sources. We can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels by investing in renewable energy, improving energy efficiency, and developing sustainable transportation systems. We can protect and restore our forests, which act as carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. We can adopt sustainable agricultural practices that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote soil health. Section 9. A greener future. Transitioning to a greener future will require a fundamental shift in our thinking and our actions. We need to move away from a linear economy based on extraction, consumption, and disposal, and embrace a circular economy that prioritizes sustainability, resource efficiency, and waste reduction. We need to invest in research and development of new technologies that can help us mitigate climate change and adapt to its impacts. This includes developing more efficient solar panels, exploring new energy storage solutions, and creating more sustainable materials. We need to promote sustainable consumption patterns, reducing our overall environmental footprint. This includes being mindful of our consumption habits, reducing waste, and making conscious choices that support a healthier planet. Section 10. Raising our voices. Individual actions are essential, but we also need to advocate for systemic change. Governments, businesses, and communities all have a crucial role to play in addressing climate change. We need to demand action from our leaders, urging them to implement policies that promote sustainability, reduce emissions, and invest in a greener future. We can support businesses that are committed to sustainability and hold accountable those that are not. We can make our voices heard through peaceful protests, writing to our elected officials, and engaging in constructive dialogue. Education and awareness are paramount. We need to educate ourselves and others about the science of climate change, its impacts, and the solutions available to us. We need to engage in meaningful conversations about this critical issue, dispelling misinformation and promoting understanding. Section 11. A call for action. The time for complacency is over. Climate change is a defining challenge of our time, and it demands our urgent attention. The future of our planet and the well-being of generations to come depends on the choices we make today. Let us act with courage, determination, and a shared commitment to safeguarding our planet for all. Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference. By embracing sustainable practices, raising our voices, and demanding change, we can create a healthier, more resilient, and more equitable future for all. The time to act is now. Let us rise to the challenge and create a world where both people and nature can thrive for generations to come.